The desert floor was bathed in a burnt orange glow as the sun hung low over Flagstaff's red hills. Janelle Brown was standing barefoot in her kitchen, drinking coffee with the same ritual peacefulness she had been practicing for years in her tiny rental house on the outskirts of town. Her eyes, which had previously been weary and dejected, now held something new: concentration, willpower. The lady who had characterized herself as the devoted supporter, the practical wife, and the peaceful one was no longer there. Someone sharper took her place, more powerful, silent, yet scarred. The viewers was aware from the first episode of this season that Janelle was no longer complying. The ultimate push had come with an unfathomable loss: the death of her son Garrison. The catalyst had been building for months, even years. The entire Brown family was rocked by the tragedy, but Janelle was left alone in the middle of everyone else's grief. Kody took his time joining her. Robyn never showed up at the door, but she sent a lot of cliched texts. Hey, hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Sister Wives News Update. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And it was evident that Janelle was no longer a member of the inner circle when she sobbed by herself in her bedroom the night before Garrison's memorial. Her tone shifted from exhausted to determined in her private interviews. With her eyes wide, she said to the camera, "I kept thinking it would be different. Maybe, just maybe, Kody would arrive. I thought, become a father, have a husband. But I only heard quiet. All I received was desertion." Once more, her sorrow turned inward, but it was short-lived. Janelle's movements have changed by the second episode. She was planning, not just getting by. She had a private meeting with a real estate lawyer. Instead of discussing retirement with Kody, she started discussing independence without him, with financial planners. Off-camera, she informed producers that none of the family's common properties had her name on them. Every property they created together, including their house and investments, was registered in Kody and Robyn's names. In a voice memo recorded late at night, she muttered sadly, "I spent decades building a life that doesn't even legally belong to me. I sacrificed everything, but for what?" However, her anger had subsided. She was prepared, all set to rebuild. Robyn Brown was growing more and more isolated within her huge house that her fans used to call the palace. Kody's tension was evident, and his temper had grown erratic. Robyn had hoped Mary would be faithful, now that Christine was gone and Janelle was backing off, a confidant, an ally. In public, however, even that started to deteriorate. The change was slight at first. Mary became more aloof, sent fewer texts, and made fewer appearances. The last explosion was set off by the Dayton birthday celebration. Robyn had always kept things under control by being emotionally close. She hugged, wept, and played the victim. This time, however, Mary felt as like she was seeing a live betrayal when she learned about the birthday celebration on social media. In a silent, sorrowful confession, Mary remarked, "I thought we were friends, but I wasn't worth a text at all." That evening, Mary attempted to phone her. Robyn remained silent. Instead, Kody texted Mary to inform her that she was too negative lately and to let Robyn have some space. The terrible confrontation that fans had been waiting for was finally shown in the next episode. Mary entered Robyn's home without any cameras following her. Instead, a covert microphone recorded what she said. She spoke in a low, poisonous voice. "I was used by you," she replied bluntly. "You never gave a damn about sisterhood, but you exploited me to make it seem that way. When Christine and Janelle began to wake up, you needed me to be the other loyal wife so you wouldn't appear so alone. Robyn's go-to tactic was to start crying right away. Mary didn't flinch this time, though. "Don't do that," she firmly stated. Don't use tears to control me. While the rest of us crumbled, you wept for years. When my loyalty was no longer useful to you, you took it and gave it to the wolves." Red-faced with rage, Kody stormed into the room. But Mary betrayed him too. "You once said I was your soulmate. I'm now simply baggage that makes you feel ashamed. What do you know? Robyn, you deserve it. You both deserve one another." She left without turning around. Fans saw something amazing in the weeks after the altercation. Mary and Janelle were getting together frequently, in secret. After being politely apart for a while, the two women became close because of betrayal. Additionally, Mary revealed a strategy that would startle the Brown family. In one segment that was covertly filmed, she told Janelle, "I want to do a podcast. Not just my story either. Almost anything. Polygamy, the lies, the legal games, Robyn's way of playing us all." Janelle gave a nod. She had been in touch with a ghostwriter already. She was working on her own memoir. "Let's go ahead," she said. "Let's be completely honest. No more secrets." They started developing a shared public platform together. They discussed taking back their stories, about requesting financial audits for LLCs owned by the Brown family, about property investigations and litigation. After hearing of this arrangement, Robyn reportedly broke down in her bedroom and sobbed to Kody, telling him that Mary was trying to destroy her life. Kody muttered that the women had declared war as he paced the kitchen. But neither of them was in charge. For once, instead of turmoil, the ending closes in silence. A haunting quiet. Robyn gazes at framed pictures of a family that has vanished. As she strolls through her empty house, Kody is yelling on the phone, possibly with a lawyer. In a different room, the camera captures Robyn's face, once soft with tears, but now harsh with terror. For a while, then it pans to Mary and Janelle, sitting with microphones in front of them in a Utah studio, across from a podcast producer. Mary asserts, "This isn't just about us, it's about all the women who were told that silence meant loyalty." Janelle speaks steadily as she leans forward. "We were sister wives. Now, though, in reality, we are sisters." The first 3 episodes of Janelle and Mary's new podcast, tentatively named Unspoken Wives, had been secretly taped for weeks. Only one unbreakable NDA and a small group of trusted producers knew what was about to happen. They had purposefully kept everything secret. No press releases, no trailers, no family warning. It would be an unexpected launch, a blast of truth.
And every copyright unrelated to any assets owned by the Brown family, she established a distinct LLC and registered it in her own name. Meanwhile, Mary concentrated on the narrative. Her long-suppressed voice finally erupted with controlled rage and clarity. Her notebook entries turned into drafts of monologues. Her suffering gave her meaning. Mary sat alone herself in a Salt Lake City hotel room the night before the launch, gazing at her laptop. The publish button was hovered over by her finger. She gave Janelle a call. "Are we certain we're prepared?" Janelle answered, "We're past ready." The instant they concluded that our commitment wasn't worth their honesty, we were prepared. Mary pressed publish. The first sentence of Chosen, then Forgotten, the first episode, was terrifying. Before realizing that I was merely an excuse, I spent 32 years setting an example. My name is Mary Brown. Mary acknowledged for the first time in public that Robyn, who she referred to as the orchestrator behind the curtain, as well as Kody, had emotionally exploited her. She described how Robyn interjected herself throughout every discussion and significant family decision. She related how Robyn allegedly pushed for the family's covert choice to relocate to Flagstaff in order to keep Kody apart from the others. Unity was not what she desired. She desired entry to his era, his funds, his devotion. Janelle took the lead in episode 2. She spoke in a soothing, nearly surgical tone. She disclosed particular financial information, including how she had paid close to $200,000 for the Arizona property in the hope that it would become her home. However, the title never included her name. I made the payment. They put their signatures on it. I had faith they were treacherous. She described how without the legal approval of Janelle, Mary, or Christine, Robyn and Kody formed a LLC, named themselves as sole managers, and then moved family property into it. The audience was taken back. Legal experts started to comment. Reddit and blogs on reality TV were overrun with articles. The public's attitude drastically changed. All of a sudden, the story was about Robyn becoming the architect of her own castle, rather than poor Robyn stuck with the messy leftovers. The others were merely scaffolding. Robyn Brown was falling freely inside her house in Arizona. She allegedly slammed a glass bowl against the wall when she first listened to the audio. Even Kody was unnerved. Despite his best efforts to soothe her, Robyn cried, "They can't do this to us. They are portraying us as malevolent. Everything is being twisted by them." However, Kody's anger was self-serving and wasn't aimed at Mary or Janelle. He yelled at Robyn, "You promised me they would remain faithful. Mary wouldn't turn. You claimed that Janelle posed no danger. You were mistaken." Robyn noticed the change. For the first time, Kody was frightened, in addition to being irritated. "I'm afraid of what Mary and Janelle might divulge next, not of them." Mary and Janelle go public, confront the media head to head. The host of the podcast appeared on Good Morning America 3 weeks after its inception. Mary and Janelle sat side by side, composed and thoughtful. "This isn't retaliation," Janelle informed the presenter. "This is recuperation. Decades of emotional neglect, spiritual pressure, and manipulation are behind us." Mary went on to say, "Polly wasn't our failure. There was secrecy." Kody demanded that the network take action by calling TLC executives. Behind the scenes, they're breaking their agreements. In a voicemail that was released, he yelled, "The Sister Wives brand is harmed by this. It's slander." However, since the podcast, TLC management had noticed an increase in ratings. They were not going to intervene. One producer allegedly said, "If it's their lived experience, it's not slander." The last straw was a Candace letter from Janelle's lawyer, which demanded a forensic examination of every commercial transaction involving the Brown family over the past 10 years. Where did the funds from the Flagstaff land go? Who was in charge of the LLCs? Which earnings were transferred to Robyn's personal accounts? Were other wives deceived? Legally, during a family gathering, Robyn broke down and sobbed, expressing her feelings of being persecuted. Kody barged out. Off camera, he informed the producers, "You're going to get a war if you wanted one." However, the public no longer supported him. As the others moved away, fans started gathering old footage of Robyn gaslighting Christine, Kody screaming at Janelle, and Mary quietly suffering. Kody was no longer in control of the story. Now it was the women's. Mary and Janelle are shown together in a recording studio. In the season's last picture, they have almost 10 million downloads of their podcast. A book contract has been inked by them. Hulu and Netflix are calling. A series of documentaries is being developed. Formerly the legal wife, Robyn is now a recluse in a mansion founded on control. Kody, the former patriarch, sits by himself and wonders where everyone is gone. The women didn't just walk away, they got up together. And there's more. That on June 15, 2025, Sister Wife Season 19 came to an end with the final TL episode. The former multiple family relationship status following Kody Brown split with Mary, Christine, and Janelle Brown was made clear in the 4-part TL special. The patriarch of the Brown family was asked by host Sakana Krishnan during the season finale if he would ever think about polygamy again. Unexpectedly, Kody acknowledged that he just no longer wanted to live that kind of life. The reality personality claims that he felt too deeply for Robyn, which is why his other multiple marriages collapsed. He explained that he is happy to remain monogamous with his last wife because his feelings for her have not changed. Robyn, on the other hand, thought differently. This is not how she wanted things to go, she admitted when sitting down with Krishnan. The reality star continued that she was going to be a part of a big picture, a big family. Robyn revealed that she would be willing to accept more sister wives if the opportunity presents itself, but she made it clear that Kody is enough for her right now. Mary, however, disclosed that she was not interested in dating and was unmarried at the moment, though she did acknowledge that she still supports polygamy, adding that it only succeeds when all parties are equally committed. Similar thoughts were expressed by Janelle, who said she was still open to the idea but didn't see it occurring for her anytime soon. Christine had already expressed her position on the issue, even though she didn't specifically address it in the finale. After meeting David, Christine stated in a 2023 interview with US Weekly that she intended to focus on their relationship without ever having to cope with the hassles of a plural marriage. During the tell-all, Christine's husband David Woolley shared his wife's opinions. The owner of the building company said that Kody was a very cunning husband to all of his wives, not just Christine. Woolley disproved the father of the Brown family's claim that polygamy is ineffective, pointing out that Kody really benefited from the conflict and turmoil amongst his ex-wives, having witnessed his own sisters engage in polygamy. Woolley merely disagrees with their lifestyle. They are ruined by the men. He asserted that polygamous men set their women against each other because they want to be battled for, saying they absolutely ruined them. According to him, Kody's lack of responsibility and selfishness were the main causes of the Brown family dissolution. However, Kody persisted in attributing his actions to his ex-partners. The reality star asserted toward the end of the finale that his ex-wives had changed since they left him. "I wouldn't have started out mean, but when they left, they got mean," he said. Kody went on to say that he was merely reacting to the insults made about him by his ex-partners, and that he sincerely wished to be happy and move on. After the sister-wives patriarch sat down for an interview with Sukana Krishnan on Sunday, this question has been circulating on the internet. Viewers previously saw Kody confess to a sexual experience he had in college, at one point in this one-on-one special, which led to Christine accusing her ex of betraying her. When Christine questioned Kody about any similar experiences he was concealing after the video was released, he replied that there weren't, but there were other options. The 18-year-old father even called his past actions wild and Mormon-naughty, defining the latter as, "I would kiss and hug, but no actual intercourse." The presenter attempted to make a joke about Kody's history of avoiding home runs, but Kody hit back, saying, "You know, out of respect for my wife, I'm going to quit discussing this with you." Of course, Kody is now married to Robyn Brown and no one else. Over the last 3 or more years, Mary, Janelle, and Christine have all left him. Kody, who became upset over his privacy,
Life being made public, also soaked on television this past Sunday night, saying, "You guys can act like it's the world's business all you want. They were just having some fun." Christian insisted to Kody since Christine had discussed sex with the presenter in her interview to conclude season 19. Kody protested that that was not a cool discussion, even though Christian reassured her guests that she was discussing his relationship with Robyn rather than his sexuality. However, social media has gotten fixated on Kody's defensiveness as well as his statements on the Sister Wives Facebook page. A fan wrote, "The way he frames the sexual experience, it sounds more like he was trying to come out to Robyn and Mary, and then when Suki wasn't even going there and he gets mad at her. If we've learned anything from Sister Wives season 19 and its tell-alls, it's that the Brown family's foundational flaws went beyond many marriages. Favoritism, misplaced priorities, and a romance that never quite followed the same rules were all part of it. The romance between Robyn Brown and Kody Brown was at the heart of the majority of the drama. In retrospect, their connection seemed a bit too passionate and more than a little out of place in the framework of plural marriage. It was seen by the other wives, it was seen by viewers, and it's now evident thanks to some recent admissions that the manner Kody and Robyn began their romance may have been the beginning of the end for the Browns. Janelle Brown recently talked up about her early years with Kody in a powerful tell-all moment. She has some regrets, to put it mildly. "I'm not sure I would have married him, honestly. If I had a year with Kody," the mother of 6 said to the audience, "I might have seen him for a little bit more of who he was. You know what I mean?" The Sister Wives star told host Sukana Krishnan, sort of fallen off the charm ride. This was a rare instance of emotional candor for Janelle, who has always been the practical one. Additionally, it revealed a more serious problem that has plagued the family for many years. TLC viewers are aware that Kody did not devote the same amount of time, effort, or relationship investment to each wife. However, Janelle went the high road, as usual. "In any case," she continued, "I don't have to go back and ruin everything that was. Would I be in this wonderful place if I said, 'Oh, I'm really sorry I did all that'?" Janelle thought about more than simply her own marriage. It served as a subliminal reminder that Kody wasn't always fair in his relationships. What about that imbalance? It set the stage for the animosity that ultimately caused the family to fall apart and resulted in 3 divorces. Let us discuss that courtship. Kody was running a busy family in Lehi, Utah, and was already married to 3 women when he met Robyn. But rather than taking a measured and courteous approach, he threw himself into his affair with Robyn, leaving the other members of the family in the dark. Fans observed their months-long romance during season 1, which was full of tense phone conversations,
long-distance visits, and that legendary kiss before marriage that caught the other spouses off guard. Kody spent far too much time and energy on Robyn. Janelle noted that in the most recent tell-all that Kody had a very long courtship compared to the rest of us. Long-term romance is not really appropriate for a married man. The two actually courted, I think, for almost a year, she wrote. There were some particularly noteworthy moments. For example, when Janelle worked full-time to provide for the family while Robyn Brown was at home coping with her pregnancy, Kody, however, was off making googly eyes and establishing a new relationship that felt more monogamous than multiple, rather than offering support. Kody wasn't merely falling for someone, he continued to expect everyone else to play happy poly family while focusing all of his attention on a single woman. Robyn pretended not to know that she was the favorite. For years, she maintained that she didn't want preferential treatment, that she loved all of the spouses, and that she wanted the family to succeed. She did, however, finally say the silent portion out loud in the most recent tell-all. Decades of conflict were suddenly justified. The luggage rack was surrounded by her confessions. Kody always appears to take it for himself when he travels. Not in Robyn's case, though. She had exclusive use of the notorious luggage rack. She said, "Maybe I put my luggage up there first, I don't know," in response to the question of why she was the first wife to be granted this privilege. It's not really that huge, but this was a clear sign of what the first 3 wives and sister wives watchers already understood. Robyn knows that she receives a different Kody. She receives birthday presents, Valentine's Day love, and her children's constant presence. She has also obviously profited the most from the family's disintegration, despite her constant claims to desire unity. Robyn's popularity isn't the only issue. She's been the favorite while acting like she's not. Now that the other women have left and the family structure has formally fallen apart, it is hard to deny that Kody made his decision a long time ago. Let us know in your comments, and stay tuned by subscribing our channel to get more updates like this. Thanks, everyone.